Next is right to freedom. Right to freedom. And Articles 19 to 22 comes under right to freedom. Okay, now we are going to deal about Article 19. And Article 19 consists of 6 rights. Okay, one is right to freedom of speech and expression, right to freedom of speech and expression, right to assemble, that is right to assembly peaceably without arms. It is right to assemble peacefully without arms. Next is right to form associations. Next is right to movement within the territory of our country. Right to reside and settle in any part of our country. And right to profession, or to carry out any kind of trade or business. I repeat, Article 19 guarantees 6 rights. Right to freedom of speech and expression, right to assemble peacefully without arms, right to form association or trade unions likewise, right to movement within the territory of our country, right to reside or settle in any part of our country, right to carry out any kind of profession or any trade or business. Okay, originally Article 19 also guarantees right to hold, acquire or dispose property. See, our original constitution also guarantees this right, that is right to hold, acquire or dispose property, but this provision was deleted by 44th Amendment Act to the Constitution of India, and now right to property is not a fundamental right. Okay, so as of now, Article 19 guarantees only 6 rights, and we are going to discuss those 6 rights in detail. Okay, and this Article 19 is available only against state and not against private individuals. I repeat, Article 19 is available only against state and not against private individuals, and also Article 19 is not applicable to foreigners. As I said, some provisions are only for citizens. Okay, and Article 19 is only for citizens of our country. Okay, first one, right to freedom of speech and expression. See, our constitution guarantees all citizens the right to express their opinions. Okay, either through mouth or through writing or through painting or any other artistic expression. In all those manners, the citizens has a right to freely express their opinion. See example. Okay, even we are posting some photos and videos in Facebook or Instagram like this, right? This also comes under our right to freedom of expression. And we upload videos in YouTube. It also comes under the freedom of speech and expression. Okay, and the Supreme Court says that we have the right to propagate one's views. That means the following comes under the right to freedom of speech and expression according to the Supreme Court verdicts. Okay, right to fly national flag with respect, right to cast vote during elections, and right to commercial advertisements, freedom of press. See, freedom of press, these are not expressly mentioned under our constitution, but through Supreme Court verdict, we came to know that freedom of press is also comes under right to freedom of speech and expression, and other expressions like the right to telecast. That is, in telecasting, The government has no monopoly. The private players also have the right to telecast and right to information. That is, getting informed about the government activities also comes under right to freedom of speech and expression. A right to remain silent. We have the right to keep silence also. A right to demonstration. So these all are comes under the term right to freedom of speech and expression. That is, right to propagate one's views, right to fly national flag with respect, casting vote, commercial advertisements, freedom of press, right to get informed, and right to telecast. So these all comes under right to freedom of speech and expression. That means an Indian citizen can express his views freely. That is what mean by this provision under our constitution. And Article 19, this altogether is applicable only to Indian citizens. Okay, and there are certain exceptions. Right to freedom does not mean that we can express or we can say our opinion according to our will and wish. No, there are certain grounds on which the state can impose reasonable restrictions. Okay, and those grounds are sovereignty and integrity of India, security of state, friendly relations with foreign nations, public order, decency or morality, contempt of court, defamation, incitement to an offense. See, as I said, in polity there are lot of exceptions provided. Okay, even though our constitution guarantees every citizen the right to freely express, there are certain exceptions on which our right can have some reasonable restrictions. Okay, and those restrictions are because from the grounds of, so if our speech or our opinions or our expressions threaten the sovereignty and integrity of India, or if it threatens the security of the state, or if it threatens the friendly relations with the foreign nations, or it affects the public order, or affects the decency and morality of someone, or it is against the, if it relates to contempt of court, relates to defamation, or it leads to incitement to an offense, on these grounds our right to freedom of free speech and expressions can have some reasonable restrictions. Okay, that means we cannot say whatever we wish or whatever things we like, we can express freely. There are some restrictions. So these exceptions are also important for us from UPSC point of view, both for prelims as well as for mains. Okay. Next right is right to assemble. Peaceably without arms. Without holding arms, we have the right to assemble. That means we have the right to demonstrate or to part in any kind of processions, right? And violent form of assembly will not be accepted by our constitutions. Only peaceful assembly is allowed. Okay, and still there are some restrictions imposed on certain grounds. They are sovereignty and integrity of India, public order. So in these two grounds, our right to assembly peacefully with arms can have reasonable restrictions. Two grounds are sovereignty and integrity of India and public order. Public order also includes maintenance of traffic also. Okay. So in these grounds, our right to assembly can have reasonable restrictions. Right? Normally, Article 9 also guarantees us the right to assemble peacefully without arms. That is, we have the right to demonstration, right to form any kind of public processions. and this is only applicable in public land. Okay, in public land we have the right to assemble, but it can be restricted on two grounds. See, always remember these grounds are important. Here there are many grounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 grounds are there for restricting our right to freedom of speech and expression. But in case of right to assembly, only on two grounds it can have reasonable restrictions. That is sovereignty and integrity of India and public order. So these grounds you must be taken care of. Okay. Next right is right to form association. That is, an Indian citizen has the right to form association or union or clubs or political parties or any public or any partnership firms. Okay, even right to form cooperative society. See, the right to form cooperative society becomes a fundamental right through 97th Amendment Act. So please note on this 97th Amendment Act, because the 97th Amendment Act give constitutional status to cooperative societies, and it made the right to form cooperative societies a fundamental right under Article 19 through 97th Constitutional Amendment Act. So now an Indian citizen has the right to form association or any kind of trade unions or clubs or political parties or any kind of partnership firms or right to form cooperative societies under Article 19. Fine. And the right to form association does not only means, it also means that one person has the right not to form association also. Okay, it guarantees the positive right of forming an association, and also it guarantees the negative right of not to form an association. It is not necessary that all should form an association. No, one has the right to form association and also right to not to form association also under our constitution by this provision. Okay, and please remember that only the right to form association is a fundamental right, but the right to get recognition from the government is not a fundamental right. Fine. The right to get recognition for our association is not a fundamental right. Again, there are exceptions to right to association. That is on three grounds. That is, the state can impose reasonable restrictions on our right to form association on three grounds. That is sovereignty and integrity of nation, public order, morality. So if our right to form association threatens any of these, then that right can be curtailed by the state by imposing restrictions. Fine. And here one important thing you have to note on is the 97th Amendment Act, because this 97th Amendment Act made the right to form cooperative society a fundamental right. Okay. Next one is right to movement. Right to movement within the territory of our country. That means a Indian citizen has a right to freely move throughout the territory of India. A person from Jammu can move to Kanyakumari, a person from Gujarat can move to Arunachal Pradesh freely without any interference of the government. This is to promote that India is a single part. India is one, and to promote national feeling only, this provision is given as a fundamental right. That is, a person is free to move freely throughout the territory of our country. See, example, we know that many of our aspirants moving from their hometown to Delhi. Why? Because the constitution guarantees us the right to move freely within the territory of our country. See, we visit many tourist places in our country of various states and union territories. Why? Because the constitution guarantees an Indian citizen the right to move freely throughout the territory of our country. And this promotes a feeling of nationalism, that we all are one and there is no barriers between us. That kind of feeling is promoted through these provisions. But again, the right to movement can be curtailed based on two grounds. One is for the interest of general public and protection of interest of any scheduled tribes. So on these two grounds only, our right to movement within the territory of our country, within India, okay. Right to movement within the territory of India can be curtailed only on these two grounds, that is interest of general public, protection of interest of scheduled tribes, because we know that scheduled tribes have their own culture, their own customs and their own languages, okay. So another person's entry into their area must not affect their culture or their customs. That is why this protection is granted under our constitution. Right, generally, an Indian has the right to free movement within the territory of India, except on these two grounds, that is interest of general public and protection of interest of scheduled tribes. This is to protect the distinct culture of scheduled tribes. Right? And next provision says that right to reside and settle in any part of our India. This gives two provisions, that is right to reside. Reside means staying in any place of a country temporarily. Settle means permanently residing or permanently settling in any part of India. Okay. So generally a person in part of their job or in any other reasons move from one part of our country and he or she may permanently settle in that place. Why? Because the constitution guarantees us the right to settle in any part of our country. Okay, and in so example, during our education times, when we are gone for college days, we move from our hometown and stay near to that college or stay in college hostel in another place. Why? Because the constitution guarantees us the right to reside in any part of our country. Because of these fundamental rights only, we are moving from one place to another and we are staying temporarily in another place or we are permanently settling in another place. Why? The constitution under article 19 guarantees an Indian citizens all these fundamental rights. Right? Again, the right to reside and settle has some reasonable restrictions on two grounds, that is the same grounds, the interest of general public and protection of interest of any scheduled tribes. Why? Because to protect the distinctive culture of scheduled tribes only these restrictions are imposed. Okay, and also Supreme Court in a verdict says that the movement of prostitutes can be restricted on ground of movement of prostitutes can be curtailed on the ground of public health. And also Bombay High Court says that a movement of persons having AIDS can also be curtailed for public health or morality. On that grounds, their movements can also be curtailed. It is verdict given by judiciary. Okay. Next is the right to profession. That is, an Indian citizen has a right to take part any provision or to carry out any trade or business. Say example, see, I am here to take class for you. Why? Because the constitution guarantees me, that is an Indian citizen, the right to carry out any profession or to carry out any activities to earn livelihood. Just because of this fundamental right guaranteed to me by the Indian constitution only, I am taking class in front of you. Right? That is, an Indian citizen has the right to carry out any profession or trade or business to earn his livelihood, with some exceptions. That is, for certain kind of job, the state can prescribe some qualifications or any technical qualifications can be imposed for certain kind of job. Simple. To become a doctor, one has to qualify MBBS or other relevant degrees. Only those persons can become a doctor. If one has to become an engineer, he must get a B or BTech degrees. So like this, technical or educational qualifications can be prescribed for certain kind of jobs. And also, certain trade or business is the monopoly of the government. Say regarding, we can say nuclear nuclear related things, government has more control, and in that manner we do not carry that trade or businesses. Again, relating to drugs or narcotics, we can do trade in drugs or narcotics only if we get the permission from the government, or else it will be done directly by the government. Unless and until we get the permission to do the business on drug narcotics, we are not permitted to carry on that trade. Again, immoral trafficking is prohibited in our country. Likewise, exceptions are there in right to profession or right to carry out any trade or businesses for his livelihood. And this right to profession also comes under Article 19. So as I said, Article 19 guarantees 6 fundamental rights to us: right to freedom of speech and expression, right to assemble peacefully without arms, right to form association, trade unions or cooperative societies or clubs or political parties, anything, right to movement within the territory of India. See, right to movement means this only says about internal movement. That is, right to move within India, and the right of an Indian citizen to go abroad and come back to India does not comes under Article 19. It comes under Article 21. That is, right to go abroad, right to go a foreign country and to come back to India comes under Article 21. And the right to move within the country, within India, only comes under Article 19. Okay, so please note down these differences also. Next is right to reside or settle in any part of a country, and right to profession. And these its rights comes under Article 19. And original constitution provides for right to hold, acquire and dispose property, a fundamental right. And this was deleted by 44th Amendment. See, note down this amendment. 44th Amendment Act deleted this provision, and 97th Amendment Act made right to form cooperative society a fundamental right. So please note down these amendments because that also important for us from prelims perspective. Fine.